Hey there, it's Pete C for Sample Live Review, and today I'm checking out La Clarinette En Rose by Straight Ahead Samples. Jazz's Straight Ahead samples are all about playability and realism. Using their cutting-edge sampling techniques, the new La Clarinette En Rose is a solo instrument that not only sounds uncannily like the real thing, but is incredibly easy to use. From whisper quiet passages to the growl and snarl you can expect from a raucous clarinet, La Clarinette En Rose takes unrivaled realism and puts it into the palm of your DAW. With around 2,000 samples per note, intelligent sample choice and a stack of articulations, this is one solo clarinet you will not be able to put down. La Clarinette En Rose downloads at 1.6 gigabytes and features an extremely detailed solo clarinet. There are 2,000 samples per note, including a range of note length, legato transitions, round robins and velocities. There are 17 key switchable articulations, and La Clarinette En Rose requires the free contact player 6.5.1 or better and is also NKS compatible. La Clarinette En Rose normally sells for $129. La Clarinette En Rose sounds incredible out of the box. Before we jump in and check out this very detailed instrument, I've made a very short 45-second jazz noir demo. The idea is it shows off a couple of the 17 articulations that are available, and the melody is very simple and it shows the playable range of the instrument. If you follow the blue MIDI information, you can see how the instrument is programmed. It's a very simple demo, but it really gets the job done, so you can hear it in context, and again, that is straight out of the box. One thing that will strike you straight away as soon as you start playing is the dynamic range of this instrument. If I bring the mod wheel down, and then bring it up, so you got the whisper quiet, then the same note with the mod wheel all the way up. You got that growl, that snarl, that sort of almost like overblown sound, and it does sound brilliant. Now, on the left hand side, I'm using complete control, and you can see you have the ambient clarinet, the basic, heavy swinging clarinet, intense clarinet, La Clarinette En Rose and roomy clarinet. Now, all of these are the same instrument, it's just the way it's presented in terms of different microphones and performance techniques, which we'll talk about later. So you can have quite a few controls. As I say though, it sounds fantastic out of the box. B natural really shouldn't have been there, but you can hear the playable range if you're down the bottom, so that low D, and then we can go up to this high F. it sounds just fantastic. Now, I'm using La Clarinette En Rose standard instrument, and you can see we have all of these articulations down the bottom. In terms of programming, this is really, really straightforward. I'm also in real-time mode. We'll talk about that later because there is a smart delay key switch. But at the bottom, we have different key switches. And on the right-hand side, when you hold them down, it tells you what these are. We have our legato. And one of the sampling techniques that Straighthead use is they will sample not just legatos of in and out of performances, but they have different note lengths, because obviously if you're playing a different note length, there's different ways you're going to play it and different sounds you're going to create, and all of that legato is sampled as well. It just makes a really, really playable instrument. So that's the legato. It does sound brilliant. And the first group of key switches, when you press them down, they stay as they are. So you have the staccato. And then you have the staccatissimo. And it's very responsive, not only to the mod wheel, but also how hard you play the keys. Then we have the tongued. The forte piano. I'm back on tongue there. This one actually does revert back, so you can hold it down and you get that tongued effect. And then we have half step trill. Love the mechanical sound. And it's quieter. Got some great volume there. And then we have the whole step trill. Okay. And then the next set of articulations are more performance based, so I'll keep it so it goes back to legato. If you hold down the key switch and then play a note, you get a fall. Sounds great. And then we have a long fall. So I've got my mod wheel right up there. So we can have it so it's a little less snarly. Love those falls. Scoop. Bring the mod wheel down again. Then we have the doit. Absolutely love it. Let's just bring the mod wheel up a little bit. Then we've got the flop. Let's bring that down a bit. It's playing the wrong articulation there. So I'm back on the flop. Then you have a rip. Glissando runs. Half step bend. Crescendo. And then hairpin. I'll do another hairpin. When you're playing, it's really, really playable. And what I do is I'd play in my melodies and then program the key switches. But if you're really proficient sort of jumping around key switches with your left hand, really, really easy to use. Look at the controls, and we have the harder velocity equals long scoop. Now, it does mean I've got to really hammer my keyboard. So if I play soft or softly, I'm right the full. And then really hammer it. You can trigger a long scoop. And then you have vibrato, which is natural. You can't really control it in real time. However, when you go into the controls, you can control the amount, the speed, the real-time vibrato weight. I like a long lyrical vibrato. So there is a lot of vibrato to control. And of course, this isn't just an effect. These are vibrato performances. So nice and easy. If you don't want to use the mod wheel, you can change the dynamics to key velocity. And then you can have a velocity staccato trigger. So I've hit it hard, we get the staccato. Or if I play it softly, really, really useful. That's just the first page. If we look at the sound, this is where we can add or remove the reverb. On the demo, I just use the baked-in reverb, as it were. Works perfectly well. If I bring it off completely, you can hear it's very, very dry. Then you can go totally the opposite way. So that's some great ambience right there. Let's go bring it down again to where we were. And then you have your different mics. So you got close mic and room mic, and then you got your bleed mic. So there's 3 mics, which again is everything you're really going to need from a solo clarinet. And then you can have the room mic. In fact, I'll turn the reverb off for these. Let's go back to close. With the microphones, you must have the close mic engaged. And you can turn off the room mic. Or you can use the bleed mic as well. Let's go get a little bit louder. But I've noticed if you turn off the close mic, whoops-a-daisy, you don't get any sound whatsoever. So that needs to be engaged, and then you've got the option of using just the close, just the room, or the bleed as well. Nice and easy. And you can pan these as you see fit, left and right, to get a nice sort of spacious sound. Let's go bring the bleed mic down. And we have... Sounds stunning. And then we have the control section. Vibrato, legato, and miscellaneous on the left. So let's start off with the vibrato. You can adjust the amount. So if I go for a huge amount of vibrato, in fact, I'm just going to turn off the bleed mic and just bring that a bit closer to the center. Here's the full vibrato. So it's not too intrusive, but obviously if you want it really fast. So you do have that delay wait time. So if I turn that off completely, it will just come in with full vibrato. And if you want that nice sort of gradual vibrato. And that's with the speed set sort of fully and the amount. So let's bring that down and let's go around there. And then you have this terminal vibrato, which I've been clicking around it. I'm not 100% sure what it does, and I can't seem to activate it, but that's there. That's one for the instruction manual, I think. Then you've got legato speed, so you can have turn that all the way down, so it's really quick. We can have it sort of really slow and exaggerated. So you can adjust the legato speed and the crossfade, go up to 15 milliseconds. have that really short if you want to as well. You do get the that sort of percussive sound. So you're going to want, you know, around sort of 20. That's closer to 30. And then you got this miscellaneous area. You can... There's a smart delay, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. You can set the key switch where that is. Then we have the staccato triggering velocity amount. So if I go back to the performance, turn on velocity triggering, go back to control, you can set the velocity value that you want that to trigger. So if I want to be over 100, so yeah, you can set that to where you want it to be. And then you got the swing accent. It's going to turn off the velocity trigger. I talked about the smart analysis at the start, and if you turn on smart delay, which is also key triggered, you can see for added realism, engage smart delay and go to your DAW, select the trumpets MIDI region and move it 4 beats to the left. The script will analyze your playing and select the appropriate samples and delay them 4 beats. If I just start playing, so I'll play some notes in. So it's analysing the best samples to use. And if I just play staccato, it will decide that staccato. The velocity staccato trigger is not on, but it will. And you could just spend ages playing with that smart delay, but it's really, really cool. The quality of the melody. The quality of the melody is way more human than programming it. So this smart delay is very, very cool. It's not something you see too often or at all. So it is very specific to straight ahead samples. I think it's a really, really cool feature. Just got to do it one more time. Way more human. Yeah, love it. And that smart delay, obviously it is tempo synced to your DAW. I'm at 120 and it just gets everything sort of, like I say, bringing life to your samples, which is what straight ahead samples are all about, is bringing life to your performances. And I think they really do achieve this. My final thoughts about La Clarinette En Rose is it is incredibly realistic and playable, and I really think that smart delay technology really makes it. However, it's not just that, it's the fact that straight ahead samples have sampled the clarinet 2,000 times per note, all different transitions, round robins, velocities, and obviously there's 17 articulations, but the level of precision they have gone with is absolutely incredible. I do make quite a lot of that sort of jazzy noir, and this low this low clarinet, like very like transports you into a smoky room kind of thing. They do that so well. But then of course that growl as well, that bite you can get, is really, really impressive. The way the instrument is put together is very, very usable. And I have to admit, there's certain times where I'm going to have to jump into the manual. I remember instruments have manuals and they are really, really useful. I did obviously read it before I went through and spent my several hours with the instrument. I just can't seem to get that swing accent working, so I will endeavour to look at that. But apart from everything else, it is really intuitive. 17 articulations, all key switchable. You've got the smart delay and it tells you exactly what it is. The controls are self-explanatory, the vibrato, legato, and then obviously I didn't talk about the long scoop speed, but you can change the scoop articulation length, and it's just, you know, a really easy to use instrument which sounds fantastic. And I absolutely love this velocity staccato trigger, which I have actually set still to 100. It's just an all-round great instrument. You can do lead solos, blend it into ensembles, but it just instantly transports you to that jazz hall with either big bands or small ensembles. And the level of sampling, like I say, is brilliant. The performance by the jazz clarinetist, which is unnamed on the website, is again fantastic. I love the mechanical sounds, I love the room sounds, I just love the whole ambience around this instrument. Do I recommend it? If you make jazz music, certainly. In fact, if you need a good solo clarinet for different styles, I wouldn't hesitate to throw this into different sort of genres. It's just a really great jazz sounding instrument, but also can have application elsewhere. If you like what you heard, feel free to leave us a like and drop us a comment. What do you like about the instrument and how would you use it? If you've not done so already, please subscribe to our channel, check out our other videos on YouTube, and then head over to samplelibraryreview.com to check out everything that's going on in the world of virtual instruments. Till next time, have a great day, and I'm sure we will cross paths again soon. Take care.